Welcome back everyone, it's Jamie Hartley here again from Crossfader, and today we're diving into the portablism turntable market. We've got the Numark PT01 Scratch in the studio, which we are going to do a bit of an overview on. We've also got two Crossfaders, one from Raiden and one from Stokyo, which we're going to put through the paces. They're slightly different price brackets, but we're still going to compare them anyway, just to highlight some features and have a chat about them. We're also going to set this all up with DVS, as well as look at this as a standalone unit, and just some tips and tricks for if you're thinking about getting into this market. It's a very exciting DIY market at the moment. Loads of people are kind of exploring the possibilities, especially with the Numark PT01 online, in blogs and elsewhere on YouTube. I hope you get something from this video and it maybe inspires you to think about getting into the portablism turntable market. The Numark PT01 is one of just a few turntables like it. The idea behind this unit is to be able to travel with it anywhere and practice your scratching and cuts. So what features does it have? Firstly, it can either be powered by batteries or by a DC power cable. To start the platter, simply move the tone arm over the vinyl and it automatically starts. The top plate is made out of metal, but the rest of the unit is plastic. There are 3 different speed settings depending on what you're spinning. Rather than a pitch fader like a traditional turntable, it has a rotary knob for plus and minus 10% speed adjustment. There is also a tone adjustment, which is basically your equalization. You can accentuate the higher or lower frequencies. Lastly, there is an onboard speaker with a volume control, but in all fairness, it's pretty tinny sounding. That's not an issue, however, as there is also a 1/4-inch jack and an 8-inch headphone output. It has an RCA master out, which you can use to hook up to a portable speaker. On the other side of the unit, there is a USB for recording or ripping your vinyl to a laptop or computer, plus a stereo input for playing beats to scratch over through the turntable. Now for the good stuff, scratching on this turntable. The Numark PT01 actually plays all size vinyls, from 7 to 10 to even 12-inch. As standard, it comes with a scratch switch built in. Unlike a traditional Crossfader, this is basically an on and off click. It's a great tool for learning quick, sharp cuts because there is a barrier on each side. With a traditional Crossfader, you also have to learn to stop the Crossfader in the middle. I think this can be a plus for those who want to learn some more advanced techniques before applying them to a normal Crossfader. Depending on your style, whether you're regular or hamster, you can easily unscrew the Crossfader and spin it to any position. So for a basic setup, if you bought this turntable by itself, the best way to use it would be to have your phone plugged into the stereo input, playing a beat, and a scratch vinyl to practice those cuts. I will say, however, because the tone arm is made of plastic and lightweight, it's prone to quite a bit of skipping on regular vinyl. Maybe try an old school way of blue tacking a coin to the top. If you don't like the idea of buying actual vinyl and want to use this turntable with Serato or a DVS setup, then you will need to expand your setup quite a bit. Most importantly, you will need an external Crossfader, which we're about to look at, and a DVS sound card or a DVS enabled mixer. Just remember as well, as soon as we do this, the portability factor decreases massively as you will need your laptop, extra cables, the sound card, Crossfader, and not forgetting a speaker. Let's now look at 2 popular portable Crossfaders currently on the market. First up, the Stokyo Kutter. This Crossfader is made of plastic. It has 3 1/8-inch jacks, 2 channel inputs and an output. To connect a Crossfader like this, simply run your DVS sound card's left and right deck outputs into channel 1 and 2 on the Crossfader. Or even just have a jack from your phone playing a beat running to one of the channels. Then run the turntable into the sound card's input. The Crossfader output would then run to your portable speaker or studio monitors. There is a switch on the Stokyo Kutter to reverse the Crossfader for hamster style scratching, and also a through option for channel 2. The Crossfader doesn't need any power or charging. You just plug and play. Next up, and this is my favourite, we have the Raiden RXI-F2. This is slightly larger in size and it has a metal casing, which I prefer over the plastic one. It straight away feels way more robust and sturdy in its build quality. This fader you will need to charge via a mini USB cable that's provided. It also has the same inputs and outputs and connects in the same way as the Stokyo Kutter. There is a calibrate button which allows you to change all sorts of settings from the cut lag to the curve and hamster mode. This can be a little confusing, however, to start changing, but there are instructional diagrams that come in the box. Let's look a little closer at the two crossfaders. The Stokyo Kutter I did find to have a little wobble to it, much less so with the Raiden, which feels a lot sturdier. The cut length is super tight on both crossfaders. If you look and listen closely, there is really not much in it at all. The Stokyo would fit nicely on your PT01, whereas the Raiden does fit, but would be better suited probably on another surface. Hopefully so far in this video it's either helped you decide whether you want to get into the portablism market and maybe consider the Numark PT01, or if you've already bought one and you've struggled to set it up in DVS mode, you may have got some tips here as well. But the next thing I wanted to just do is have a quick chat about what I think about this product and the whole market in general. Now, the first thing that is exciting is I love the fact that it's such a DIY industry. You can do so much to this PT01. There's loads of other videos online on YouTube and loads of blogs with other people, how they've modified this. The first thing I would do is probably replace the tone arm. I'm not a fan of the tone arm. It feels very plastic and flimsy and it just needs a bit more weight to it, especially if you're going to be scratching with real vinyl. I would say that this product, it does feel like a bit of a toy. It feels like a little bit of a gimmick just because it's quite plasticky and just what it does. But saying that, for its price, it's cool. It's so much fun to play with. Someone like myself who enjoys scratching, I've just spent hours just cutting and playing and just enjoying myself on it. And that's the main thing to take away from this. As far as portablism goes, I much prefer adding in stuff like the Raiden Crossfader, but then it becomes a much less portable setup. Way more tactile and fun, but way less portable. So just bear that in mind if you're thinking about getting into this. You can replace the crossfader or the crossfader switch to a normal crossfader in the Numark PT01, and you can look at that. There's loads of other people with recommendations for that. It will work with Rekordbox. Remember, this is just a turntable. So if you've got a Rekordbox control vinyl or a Rekordbox DVS box, it will work the same way, just like we did with Serato. Seeing as we're talking about what this will work with, just remember, if you've got a controller that is DVS enabled, maybe the SX2 or the RZ, then this can plug into one of the extra channels on your controller and you can get your control signal, even if it's a Serato control signal. I think these should work with Rekordbox, and basically you can then use it as a normal turntable. It's not great, obviously the pitch adjust being a rotatory knob isn't ideal for mixing, but if you wanted to add a turntable for scratching into your controller setup, then this is a pretty cheap option and a pretty fun option to do that with. You'd literally go master out into the channel input on the back of your controller. Moving on to the crossfaders. Now they are pretty different prices. One's pretty much double the price of the other one. So you can't put them side by side, but they're both great. They both work extremely well. The Raiden is my favorite, like I say. If you can afford to spend that bit extra, I would definitely go for that crossfader. But if you are really wanting to be truly portable with it, then the Stokyo fits much nicer if you were to tack it onto the Numark. And just food for thought, this is the Numark PT01. This is the first model that they've made of this scratch turntable. I really hope that Numark have the PT02 in the pipeline. Personally, I would love to see some sort of Serato sound card built into the unit. So it would be the case of a USB coming straight from the turntable to your laptop and then master out to some speakers. And inside there takes care of all this DVS setup. And it would then truly be pretty portable. I would probably pay triple the money for that. Also, a bit more of a sturdier tone arm would be great. Numark, I hope you're watching. I'm excited for the PT02 if it's on its way. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe and like and follow and comment if you've got any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not the best person to ask about this stuff. This is my first time playing on it and it goes way deeper and way further. If you get into this, there is so much more you can do. And I'd recommend places like DJ City or even DJ Works to go check out some of the stuff that they're writing and posting about this whole industry. Thanks for watching. My name's Jamie Hartley and I'll see you next time.